بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. كلية إمام الكاظم، أقسام الديوانية، قسم اللغة الإنجليزية، المرحلة الثانية، مادة الELT. أستاذ محمد حسين بدري. Today we are going to talk about here page 95. Okay, 95. So today the lecture will be very short. We are going to talk about problems that EFL, ESL teachers have in managing classroom interaction. What are the problems? Of course, there are many problems. You can check them on the internet if you want to get more information about this idea. Okay, here generally problems that the teachers face or have. Here in this book we have 3 problems mentioned. Okay, number 1, I never have enough time. I never have enough time. The teacher or teachers always say, I never have enough time. I don't have time. Okay. 2. How do I get students to use English in class? This is a problem. How can I make them speak in English? How can I make them leave their Arabic or mother tongue language? Okay, this is another problem. And number 3, name remembering problem. Some teachers do not remember the names. So these are problems. We are going to talk about each one and what are the suitable solutions for these problems. Okay. Number 1, when the problem, I never have enough time. Here we have explanation. Here we have teachers. Is here what? Here is what they suggest. So what are the suggestions here? First, so here we have suggestions. First, build time constraints into lesson plans. Okay, you have to have a plan. This is very important. You have to have a plan before going to class. Before you go to class, you have to plan everything. Okay, all of us now, we plan our lectures. I plan my lecture here on the internet, what I'm going to say, what time does this part take. Okay, so you have to plan. For example, plan time for each activity. This activity takes 2 minutes. This 3 minutes. This 10 minutes. So you have to plan. If you don't plan your time, if you don't plan activities, of course you will be what? You will be lost. This includes estimating. You have to estimate, predict, expect how much time it will take to do each step in an activity. See, as I said. For example, to give instructions for a group task. Set up groups. Have students work on the task. You see? So you have to arrange time for each one. To give instructions for a group task. Set up groups. Have students work on the task. For example, you say, or you can write your plan. I will give 10 minutes for my students to do this, to solve this problem, or 5 minutes. You see, this is what is meant by have students work on the task. Remember, we talked about working on the task. Likewise, keep track of time. See, you have to keep track of time. Okay, not what lose track of time. Lose track of time يعني يفقد أثر الوقت، يفقد الوقت. هنا keep track يعني تحافظ على الوقت. So keep track of time. Simply, how? Glancing at a watch. Glancing, it means watching your watch. You have to glance at watch and mentally nothing how much time has gone by can be productive. You see? So glancing at a watch and mentally nothing how much time has gone by can be productive. This process is productive. Okay? So what is important here is that what? You have to plan everything. You have to plan the activities. You have to build time constraints for every activity. Okay, and here we have example working on task, giving instructions. Next, when setting up group work activities, when you choose students, for example, simply telling each group where to locate can save much time. So how to save much time? How to save time? You have to be careful. Try to tell them that your location is in this place and you have to sit in this place. You have to go to this place. So these are some strategies that you can use as a teacher. When you become a teacher, you can use these strategies in order what? To save time. Okay? To save time. توفر وقت يعني. مو تنقذ. Group 1, for example, you are at the corner. You see? Here setting up time. Here arranging students. Group 2, please form up here near the board. You see? In addition, during a pair or a group work, let students know how much time they are allotted to complete their task. So here you have to tell your students that the time is, for example, 5 minutes. Don't tell them that it is what? It is open. No, tell them that the time for them is 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So you have to tell your students. I think they are very easy. You can summarize them. Okay, this is number 2. And the last one, reflect on how much time it took to do different activities and steps in these activities. Okay, so we have to what? To reflect on how much time, as well as consider how we might use time differently the next time we do an activity. So you have to what? Keeping a record of use of time in folder with a lesson plan and materials to do activities has proven useful to a number of teachers. You see, so here that's one. You have to reflect on how much time it took to what? To do different activities. So number 1, you have to plan. Okay. Number 2, you have to do what? You have to save time by grouping your students, locating them. You have to tell them that you are in this place and this place. And the last one, you have to what? Reflect on how much time. You have to what? To specify each time for each activity. This activity takes 5, 10 minutes, etc. Okay? You can summarize all of them in one paragraph. The second problem, how do I get students to use English in class? This is very important. Okay? This is very important. I mean, not important in exam, but important in general. I mean, how to make your students use or speak in English. Let's see here. Here we have some techniques. In this paragraph, we have some techniques. Here I said that I met some teachers who strongly believe in English only policy, like me. Okay? Only this. They believe that in English only policy. Some believe that to learn English, students need to interact only in English. Okay? Some believe that. If you want to learn English, you have to speak English. Only speak English. Don't speak another language. Some believe that. When the goal is to get students to use English much of the time, a problematic goal, teachers have tried a number of things. So, what are the attempts? Okay? I mean, how teachers try a number of things. Some put up signs. Okay? These are the techniques. You can use these techniques. For example, this is in English only zone. Okay, this is English only zone. Okay, they put sign on the ground, on the wall. For example, don't speak Arabic. This is in English zone. I remember this at Al Qadisiyah University. They put certain signs. Don't speak in Arabic. You are in English department. Speak only English. You see? Other point at the students and say speak English. Okay, sometimes for me when some students answer, when I try or answer or ask in Arabic, I tell them what? Speak English. So this is one of the technique. Don't speak Arabic, speak English. Others initiate a system in which students can cash in poker chips. Here we have some games. Okay, you can use some games in order to make what the students use their don't use their native language and use English. Still others create a font, there is font here, in which students giving a coin to the class party each time they speak in their native language. Okay, it is like tax and ضريبة. They have to give coin, money. Okay, for example, $1, or for example, 250 dinars. If you speak Arabic, okay, you have to pay it or donate it for an institution, for charity. See, here he gives his personal experience. He leave this paragraph, third paragraph. If we truly believe that students need to use English to learn English, but they are not doing so, this is very important. These techniques less effective, but what is effective is this. We need to negotiate with them. We need to speak with them to tell them why it is important to use English in class. You see, you have to tell your students. Like now, I always tell you that you have to speak English because it is important. If you don't speak English now, you will not be able to speak English for the rest of your life, all your life. Okay? You will only use, when you go to schools, you will only use فاعل زائد فعل. You will not speak. If you don't speak English now, try to do your best. Okay? It's very easy. Now, some people learn English in 3 or 4 months. So you have 5 or 4 years. So this matters. It's not difficult. Okay? So negotiate with them. Tell them that's important. Like now, I'm telling you that it's important. It's important to gain their trust and commitment. They need to want to use English in class because they see value in doing so. Okay, like now I'm just telling you that it is important. You have to learn English. You have to speak English. If you don't speak English now, you will not be able to speak English. Okay, because you are English teacher. You see, this is the same here. We then are more likely to be successful in implementing techniques that focus their attention on using English to learn English. Okay, so this is I hope it's very clear. So this is the idea, that you have to speak with your students. You have to tell them that English is important. If you don't speak English now, you will not be able to speak English. So speak English now and leave your mother tongue. And the third problem is name and remembering problem. Of course, teachers don't, and it's impossible for teachers to be able to remember all the names, especially the case with us. For example, in Iraq, I have, or all of us as teachers have problems. Why? Because in the class has more than, for example, 50 or 60 students, and we have 3 or 2 classes. So how many students in the first stage? How many students in the second? More than 150 students. So here, it is what? It is a problem. How can you remember all the names? How can you know all the names? It is very difficult. So there are some solutions, some strategies to remember the names, but of course, it depends here. It depends on the number of the students. The less, the better. Okay, the less, the better. And when the students are few, of course you will be able to remember them. That's why the fourth stage, we know them. We remember for the fourth stage all the students. Why? Because they are very few. They are few. They are almost 40 students. So it is easy for us. We know them all. Even we know some of them. We know their full name. You see, so but when, for example, now with second stage, it is difficult to know the students. Maybe you know their face, okay, you remember them, but you don't remember their names. And here it starts, to my embarrassment, feel embarrassed here. I never could remember my students' names. Names are important. Learning a student's name shows a teacher is interested enough to know his or her name. Of course, if you know student's name, it means it matters. It is important, I mean, for the students to know his name. I asked people who are good at remembering names what they do, and I read the memory book. First, I discovered that people who remember names rather listen to the name and use it as possible as soon as they hear it. They also study the person's face. Okay, so here are some strategies. Some people try to what, to use the name. Okay, some people try to what, study the person's face and match the name to the face. You see? So here, paying attention to the name and face worked wonderfully for me when meeting individuals, but when faced with 3 or 4 classes of new, this is the point I have just mentioned. When we have 3 or 4 classes of new students, I still had problems. So I decided to create ways to learn whole classes of students names. I had students complete information sheets about themselves and draw their pictures on the sheet. So this is the strategy. Okay, write your names, put your picture. Okay, if you see, complete information sheet about themselves and draw their pictures on the sheets. Okay, I could then study the sheets and match the drawings with their names. You see, for example, Amr assignment, he has assignment, and for example, paint himself, Amr, or Nadam, for example. Okay, they paint themselves. So when you look at the name Amr or Nadam, you see their faces. So you will remember them. So here another strategies. We have another strategies, activities. One activity is to have students interview each other in a small group, and I join each group. For example, give them a chance to speak with each other, to name each other in front of you. We meet to learn each other names and at least 3 things about each other. We then form a new group or interview each other. Okay, so here you can summarize them. Second activity is round robin memory game. So we have here certain games. For example, the students form a circle and starting someone in the circle. A student will say, "My name is Slot and I like strawberry ice cream." The next student then says, "This is Slot and she likes strawberry," etc. You see? This is Robin. This is round robin memory game. Very important. Read them. What is round robin memory? A third activity is also we have another activity which is cocktail cocktail party. What is cocktail party? I have each student write a variety of information of a large name tag. The information might include, for example, the student's name in the center, favorite food, you see cocktail in the top right corner, a word recently learned in the bottom right corner, a hobby in the top left corner, and in the remaining corner the name of a person, dead or alive, whom the students would like to meet. We then walk around the classroom reading each other's names, tags, and striking up conversation. As I do this, I pay particular attention to the person's name and face. You see, it's very easy here. From its name, cocktail party. It means you have students what they mention cocktail, everything. For example, they mention their names, their favorite food, word recently learned, hobby. Okay, for example, my name Muhammad. I like doing my what else? Hobby. I like reading. put what the person dead or alive whom the students want to meet. I want to meet, for example, I want to meet Cristiano. You see, so when the teacher reads these details, of course he will what, he will be curious to read what, to read the name of the person in order to connect between them. I hope it is very clear. It is very easy. You have to summarize this idea. We finish with the book. I finished, by the way, I finished not because you have 3 chapters. We have chapter 7 and 3. 2 chapters. We leave 2 chapters. Okay, we only take 5 chapters. 5 chapters only. We leave 2 chapters. Okay, and I will tell you what we are going to do next weeks. If you have any question, you can ask. Thank you so much.